Good afternoon or morning or evening all, and welcome to today's IELTS speaking class with myself, Alexander. I am joined, as usual, by Jennifer. How you doing,
Hello.
Jennifer?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How
Well,
about
that's great
yourself?
to hear. I'm doing good. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little minute.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks.
It's been a couple of weeks. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate that. And the time difference. So we're an hour and ahead. So I kind of like that.
An hour before you had to get ready and get
Yeah,
presentable.
exactly. Yeah, get out of my clothes and change for the day and get going. So this is kind of a nice little break. So thank you for
Nice.
having me on. I will just let everyone know what I'm doing here really quick. My name is Jennifer Olfton-Bruns. I'm the IELTS support specialist here at Connetics USA. I see we still have some nurses coming into the room, so that's good. I will just continue on with my little skit, as Scott calls it. I thought that was cute, my little skit. So we have a lot going on here at Connetics, and we have a lot going on here in the IELTS department, which is what I'm managing right now. This is where they keep me. So in front of us, we've got a success path going on. This shows you a little course of how you're going to get from A to Z. So we've got this broke down for you into 7 different phases. It looks like the first one here is the NCLEX Fast Pass. So yes, we all know we do need to pass the NCLEX. So that is a stipulation along with your IELTS exam. So get that done and out of the way, and you will be handed off to me. So that's exciting. 2 is preparation for the interview. So your screening match interview preparation. So you just get all ready and we will get you all geared up. And before you have your interview, we will get you interviewed with whoever best fits your needs, whether that be location or etc. So we will go from there. Phase 3 is your visa framework. So that's kind of exciting. Your TN visa or your green card, and you know exactly where you will be before that. So that's the good thing about all of our case specialists. So you shouldn't be left in the dark for too terribly long, even though they do have a big caseload, because that's what we do here. You will be notified really soon. So the next phase, you're looking at your licensing and credentialing. Your English proficiency exam, if required, and that is where I come in. So most of you are required to take your IELTS exam. I know for many of you it is a struggle. You can get a little, you're apprehensive, you're scared, you're nervous about taking it. It seems like every nurse I talk to, the NCLEX is a breeze. You do that and you're fine. But it's the IELTS exam that everyone is worried about. So, you know, faith over fear, isn't that what they say? So you do that and you'll pass. So get that done and out of the way. Is that right, Alexander?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. Your 5th phase is the get ready game plan. So you're looking at your financial, your language, your clinical, your immigration, and you're preparing for your transition. So it seems like a lot of steps, but you do just take it day by day. And before you know it, you'll be here in the US. So that is your get ready game plan. If you follow us on Facebook at all, which I'm sure many of the viewers do, you'll see that um, we just had a couple new nurses just show up. Like one just showed up in yesterday or the day before in Savannah, Georgia. How exciting is that? So that is a real place. I'll let you know that is a real place, and that's 2.5 hours east of me, which is super exciting.
I
So there.
remember watching a TV show called Savannah.
All right. See? And it's really neat. They've got the Spanish moss that falls from the trees there. And it's sort of like maybe something, yeah, you'd see in the movies. It's very intriguing. The moss just falls from the trees. So they just showed up yesterday with their sister is already there. So it's kind of exciting. Not that we'll run into each other, but to know that one of our nurses is just showed up 2.5 hours away from me is kind of exciting. So you never know. I might run into him. So the 6th phase is the arrival sequence. So you're looking at your orientation, your training, a few other things in that list. I know housing always comes up in our WhatsApp group. Where are they going to live? All that fun stuff. If they're what's going to happen. And it's just like moving to if anyone has moved out of state or to a new home sight unseen, that can be very sometimes challenging, but it can be very exciting too at the same time. So um, your seventh um, your seventh phase is just to enjoy and prosper. So once you get here, just make the American dream all yours and live it out, and just do the best that you can here, which I know you can. All the nurses that come here, they're saving lives, one nurse at a time and one person at a time. It's pretty remarkable what all of them do. So my part here is just to get you enrolled and get you to pass your IELTS exam the first time. So no worries there. What does Swoosh offer here through Connetics? We offer a lot. We've broke it down for you in a small little segment. We've got the Connetics IELTS program and assets, which is really nice. Your complimentary IELTS review course. This is 100% scholarship from Connetics. It's an intensive, all-inclusive, 100% paid for by Connetics. Your IELTS exam, which is pretty exciting. We do offer the free IELTS classes weekly. That's Monday and Tuesday, and then you'll have Thursday and Friday, like with Alexander. And now we've offered the last few months a new grammar class, which is on Wednesday and Friday as well. So that's kind of exciting. We also offer the free study groups and study partners. So if you are enrolled, I definitely stress to make sure you are in our Telegram group. If you are not in our Telegram group, we ask that you join our Telegram group. Just let me know and I will get you in there as soon as we can. Let's see. We also offer the free Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, reach out to us. We've got Connetics Swoosh Facebook group. We've also got Connetics Facebook group. It stays pretty active, definitely in the Swoosh Connetics group. Always questions and things going on there. And then we also have the Connetics IELTS support specialist, who is yours truly, me. I will try to answer any questions that I can. Some of the questions I do not know. If I don't know, I'll reach out. I'll try to help you in any way that I can. But that's what I do here. So you've got support from me, not only Swoosh, but from me. You reach out via WhatsApp or Telegram, email. I'm always there. I'm answering questions all day as much as I possibly can. And last but not least, we are doing the monthly IELTS raffle, something I just got done doing. We just had a raffle at 9 o'clock. Teeny Cornista is our winner for the month of March. How exciting is that? And what do you win with the raffle? Let me tell you, Connetics USA is paying for your IELTS, not review, well, the review too, but the exam. So if travel's not included, it is the exam. So once a month, if you were active in your review, we will get a handful of whoever is active, those names, and perhaps your name will be drawn. It's usually done the last Friday of the month. So 20 minutes ago, we just called Teeny Cornista. If you're watching this, congratulations on winning the March's raffle. And she might, hopefully, it'd be great if she's in here watching.
Yeah.
She should be in here. And let all of us know when you've scheduled your IELTS exam. Let us know. We'll get that in your file, and that's exciting time. So reach out to me at 1-858. 1 is the country code. Of course, I'm here in the USA. If you couldn't tell, 858-289-1853. I'm on WhatsApp and Telegram. You can also reach out to me, Jennifer, at ConneticsUSA.com. If you are not currently a Connetics nurse, don't fret. We will get you enrolled, okay? ConneticsUSA.com/application, okay? So we've got a lot going on here, and I won't take up any more of your time. It's supposed to be 5 minutes, and it's always 10. So there's a lot to say. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
So we're growing. We're expanding. A year ago in February 2021, this was a nice little small, much easier to manage. And now we've expanded, quadrupled, and there's 1,000 people now in Swoosh through Connetics, through the pipeline. So you guys are doing great. And, it's a team effort, like I always say. So thank you, Alex.
Thank you very much, Jennifer.
You bet. Did I leave anything out?
No, I think you've given us a nice update. And yeah, as you said, for those who want to join, I've sent the link in the chat box. So come and join us and take advantage of the things that Jennifer has just told us about.
All right. I like that. Well, I'll see you again in about an hour, okay?
Okay. See you in a bit, Jennifer.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, so we're going to have a look today at some skills related to the IELTS exam. And what we will be focusing on today is pausing as it relates to fluency. So that's what we will be focusing on. Just a quick welcome to those who have joined us in the class. It's great to see that we've got Jay and Jasmine who have joined us directly in the class. Hello to Sunny, who's watching on Facebook, and Anika, who is watching us on YouTube, and also Blessy, who is watching us on Facebook as well. So hello to all of you. It's great to see you involved here. If you are watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, please let me know in the chat box. And there will be a few questions I'll be asking you as well during today's lesson. So if you have the answers, then do let me know in the chat box. Okay, so as I said, we'll be looking at pausing, and the focus will be on part 2 questions for today. So in the IELTS exam, it's important that we are able to meet the 4 criteria. The 4 criteria for IELTS speaking, of course, are pronunciation, fluency and coherence, grammatical range and accuracy, and lexical resource. So pronunciation relates to stress, it relates to accuracy in terms of individual sounds, and also intonation. Fluency and coherence is about pace. It's also about whether ideas are logically connected. With grammatical range and accuracy, we're looking at whether the grammar is correct and whether varieties are used in terms of grammatical expression. And similarly, with lexical resource, we're looking at vocabulary. Was a variety of vocabulary used, and was that vocabulary used accurately? Pausing then, which is the focus of today's class, it refers to the moments when you briefly stop speaking. But there's 2 different types of pausing. There's inappropriate pausing, which makes it more difficult for the listener to follow your ideas. And then there is effective pausing, which is, of course, what we want to focus on, which makes it easier for the listener to follow your ideas. Pausing effectively is an important part of fluency. So to demonstrate a good level of spoken fluency, we need to show that we're able to pause effectively when giving information, when speaking. So let's have a look at a sample. Here is part of a response to a part 2 question, and we can see that here. So just take a moment to read the response. And after which words do you think it would be appropriate for the speaker to pause? So let me know in the chat box if you have any suggestions. Which words would you pause after, do you think, in order to help make your ideas clearer for the listener? So, for example, would we pause after trip? Would we pause after Cuba? Would we pause after the word wife? What do you think? So Jay is suggesting after wife. Wife would be a good time to pause. Any other pauses? Any other suggestions that you would make? Let me know in the chat box if you do. So after time as well. Okay, so pause after wife, pause after time. Any others? Okay, so a couple of suggestions we've got there. Thanks for those, Jay. Also, beaches as well. A pause after beaches. Okay, so yeah, I think all of those pauses would make sense. Let's have a look at a possible suggestion in terms of pausing. So here is a possible answer. And let's hear what it sounds like with these pauses. My favorite trip abroad was when I went to Cuba with my wife. We had a wonderful time. We ate lots of seafood and we bathed on the beautiful beaches. We also took a ride in one of the famous 1950s Cadillac cars. Okay, so absolutely. What was suggested in the chat is exactly what is written here in terms of pausing. We can see that after key pieces of information, we have a pause, which allows the listener to process the information. And it also allows the speaker to be more expressive. So the first piece of information, we're talking about where I went and who I went with. In the second piece of information, I'm adding extra detail, talking about the fact that I enjoyed the experience. Then I'm adding more detail in terms of the activities that I did. And then I'm adding an extra detail in terms of things that I did abroad. You can see the use of also is showing that I'm adding extra information. So I'm using pausing here in order to make it easier for the listener to process what I'm saying. This is an important component of speaking fluently. So let's have a look at another example together. Here we've got some pausing. It's a different response this time. But what do you think to the pausing here? So where you can see the dash, that's where the speaker has paused. I'll read it out as well to give a sense of what this would sound like. I'll never forget my trip to Paris when I was still at school. It was wonderful time because I was able to travel with my friends and I made some new friends. While there, of course, I visited the Eiffel Tower and I even went all the way to the top despite being scared of heights. So what do we think to this? Do we think this is effective pausing or not? Was it easy for you to process the information as I spoke there? Or do you think this could have been done more effectively? Let me know in the chat box if you have any views on this. What do you think? Effective or not so much? Okay. Well, I think one thing that we can notice here is that there's too much in terms of pausing. So yeah, Jay says it's not effective. Yeah, there's too much pausing going on, isn't there, in this example? We can see there's about 10 pauses. So it sounds very staccato. It sounds very much like there is a struggle there for fluency. What often happens in the exam is that with these pauses, there'll be a lot of filler expressions. So for example, I'll never forget my trip to Paris when I was still at school. So often with these pauses, we have a lot of fillers. And what this does is it breaks the fluency because the pauses are not effectively placed. As a result of this, the pausing is often distracting. So it's difficult for the listener to really follow the ideas that you're trying to communicate. And so what you have here is a loss in fluency and coherence. But we can look at a much better example. So effective pausing would be more like this. I'll never forget my trip to Paris when I was still at school. It was a wonderful time because I was able to travel with my friends and I made some new friends while there. Of course, I visited the Eiffel Tower. And I even went all the way to the top, despite being scared of heights. Okay, so I'm sure you'll agree that the pausing in this example was much more effective. And what it allowed me to do, as well as a speaker, is to use intonation more effectively. So I can pause when I'm about to make an intonation change to show an attitude. So for example, at the end, despite being scared of heights, you can see there's that sort of falling intonation towards the end to show that I made a decision to do something, even though it was challenging. So with effective pausing, we can communicate our ideas much more clearly to the listener. So when you are speaking, this is something to think about, particularly for part 2, because obviously you have to give a long turn. You have to talk for up to 2 minutes on a particular topic. So you really need to think about how you're going to pause effectively in order to communicate your information as clearly as possible. So these are the things that you should consider. You should consider pausing when you're adding a new idea, if you're changing topics, if you're using linkers or cohesive devices as well, then it can be appropriate to pause in order to allow the listener to process that. And if you're emphasizing an attitude or an emotion, pausing can be very effective there because it helps you to communicate that emotion more clearly. Another thing to bear in mind as well with speaking part 2 is that if you use pausing effectively, it means that you don't run out of things to say as quickly. Sometimes speakers with part 2, they'll be very nervous, they'll speak very quickly, they'll give all the ideas that they have from the card, and then there's still another 30 seconds that the examiner is expecting them to speak for. So pausing effectively helps us to kind of settle down a little bit, it helps us to calm down, and it helps us to deliver our talk in a manner which is clear and at a natural pace. And so this is what effective pausing will do. It will help you to speak at a natural pace and communicate your ideas more clearly. So we're going to do some practice speaking now. And as we do so, I want you to listen out for examples of effective pausing during today's speaking practice. So let's see who has joined us in the class. I can see we've got a few students in the class. So I'm going to bring Jay in to do some speaking practice. Are you there, Jay?
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good,
Thank you. What
good.
about you?
Yeah, I'm doing well as well, thank you. How's your practice been going over the last couple of weeks?
I think I'm improving. I
Good,
guess.
good,
Yeah,
good.
hopefully.
That's what we like to hear. Okay, Jay, so we're going to be having a look at a part 2 question together, and we're going to start with a memorable holiday. So can you see the description of the task on your screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so you'll have a minute there, Jay, to prepare some ideas, and then you should speak on this topic for between 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, Jay, are you ready to begin?
Okay, I'll try.
Brilliant. Okay, so please describe a holiday that you remember enjoying.
Okay. Uh, well, I'd like to share with you the unforgettable vacation that I had. It happened last January, and along with my relatives, we went to one of the prestigious tourist spots here in Canada, which is the Blue Mountain Village. And one that attracts to the travelers there was the ski resort there. And actually, it was a majestic place because it's not only about the ski resort, but also we saw the whole community or the small community there that lives there for a long time. On top of that, we went there for sightseeing as well because we saw the whole slopes of the mountains covered with snows and all those people who are um, an expert with regard to skiing, which it was a one of a kind experience because it was my first time to see uh, a type of tourist spot that is suitable for winter. I was nervous actually when I saw those people who are skiing because I'm scared of heights, which is why I just simply watched them going down from the mountains. Although I'm quite curious on how to do it, but um, deep inside, I just simply nervous that time to try it, which is why I just keep myself in my comfort zone, just to
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Jay. Well
Yeah,
done.
thank you.
Nice. So you went on a skiing holiday, but you didn't go skiing.
Yeah, I just went sightseeing there. Yeah, but
Okay.
I had a good fun with my relatives.
Nice, nice. Good stuff there, Jay. So you spoke at a natural pace throughout. You were clear and easy to follow. And yeah, there was some pausing between the transitions in topics as well. So that was good to hear. There was some good paraphrasing there. So unforgettable as a paraphrase for something obviously that was memorable. You gave some nice details. You said when it happened last January, some good holiday vocabulary, ski resorts was used. And then there was some nice adjectives as well. Majestic was nice. You said it was a one-of-a-kind experience as well, which was a nice expression to use, less common expression as well. So there was good stuff in terms of linkers. On top of that, I noted was used as a way of connecting your ideas. So that was good. In terms of grammar, generally you were accurate. Just a couple of slips occurred.
Oh,
Just with dependent prepositions. So you said curious on how to do it. So curious about is
okay.
the preposition.
Curious about.
Yeah. And similar with nervous is where you said nervous to try it, but nervous about trying it.
Okay.
Yeah, would be the preposition there. But yeah, aside from that, it was accurate. Just a little bit on plural forms. You said there were people there who were an expert because it was people plural experts, so you wouldn't use
Okay.
the article an in this case. But yeah, yeah. Aside from that, it's some really good stuff there, Jay. So I can see that you're making those improvements. Well done.
Thank you, Alex, for this chance.
No worries. When is your exam?
I'm planning to take next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, best of luck. Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, take care.
Okay. Good stuff. So let's move on to another topic. I can see Leolin has joined us. Let me bring her into the class. Are you there, Leolin?
Hello, sir. Yes,
Hi. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well as well, thank you. Um, so where are you based at the moment, Leolin? Remind me.
I'm here in Kuwait, sir, but I'm
In
from
Kuwait, that's right.
Philippines.
That's right, that's right. And how's your preparation been going?
I try to attend your class as much as I can, and even though I cannot answer means thoroughly, but I try my best.
Okay, okay. Well, this is it, isn't it? Trying your best, you will make improvements. So let's have a look at a new question together then, Leolin. And we're looking at a repaired item. So can you see this clearly on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. Okay, for those watching on YouTube, I can see we've got a comment saying it's not clear. Try to zoom your screen. If you click on zoom, you should be able to make this full screen, so you should be able to see this clearly. Okay, so Leolin, you've got a minute to prepare some ideas, and then you should discuss this topic for up to 2 minutes.
All right, sir.
Okay, are you ready to begin, Leolin?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. So please describe something that was broken in your home and then repaired.
All right, sir. I would like to talk about the item that was damaged in our flat since I'm living in a flat here in Kuwait. It was our washing machine. I am living in a flat, so we are sharing our washing machine with five person. It was damaged 2 months ago. Unfortunately, I feel blue because, of course, I am thinking about our budget as well. So suddenly, I was having my laundry since Friday. It is appearing error on the screen. So I think it is due to the soap because I put too much in the dispenser. So I think I can repair it. So suddenly I noticed again it appeared error again. So it came to my mind that I need to call a repair shop. So I dialed the number, then I spoke to the person and explained what happened. But after a few hours, it's still appearing that it is error. So I talked to my sister. So we decided to call the other store and inquire about how much the brand new washing machine. So really I feel sad and down in the dumps because we will suffer a lot. We need our expenses. We will think about our budget. So that's happened. So suddenly we came up with a plan that we will buy a new washing machine. So because we are five in the flat, we decided to divide equally the price that the washing machine is cost. So even though it is costly, we decided to buy a brand new washing machine. So it will not be repaired if again, and so that we can use it at the same
Okay.
time.
Thank you very much there, Leolin. Sounds like a real situation. Is
Yes.
that, yeah. I'm going to say either that or you've got a very detailed imagination. But yes, very nice, very nice. So very fluent description in terms of obviously pausing was what I focused on at the beginning of the class. This is a really good example of that. The way that you're able to give all the different stages that occurred, the first stage of calling the repair people, and then it still didn't work, and then speaking to your sister. So you broke that down really nicely, and your fluency was very strong in terms of your ability to discuss the topic. So well done there. There was some nice use of variety and grammar as well. Passive voice, it was damaged. There was some good use of specific language relating to the topic. So obviously you're talking about your washing machine, the dispenser as part of the washing machine. Some linking devices you used as well. So you said after a few hours, although just be aware, actually, it should be after a few hours
Okay,
in
sir.
this case. Yeah, few. If you use few without the article, it means small, something that is a small number or a small quantity. But a few just means two in this case, for example, or three. So yeah, so it's good you were using the expression, but just be aware of that. You're using some idiomatic expressions as well. Come up with was a nice phrasal verb that you're using. So it's always good to use phrasal verbs in speaking because they are commonly used in speaking. And then some expressions you use as well. Said you were feeling down in the dumps. So there was some less common language there. So yeah, some really good examples of how to approach part two here, Leolin. I think the thing that I would focus on going forward is use of verbs and consistently using the past tense where appropriate, because you were switching between the past and the present tense quite a lot when describing a past action. So you're saying things like, I can't repair it, and I feel down in the dumps rather than I felt. So yeah, just be aware of those verb forms, because aside from that, you were using good language. It was just a few slips that were occurring.
Thank you, sir.
No worries, no worries. And just a final thing, you talked about, I could hear you hesitating a little bit in terms of personal people. You used five,
Yeah,
obviously it's plural. So yeah, it's an irregular plural, obviously, but yeah, if you're using plural forms, then you'd want to use people in that case. But yeah, otherwise, good stuff, Leolin. You're doing well. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay, so I can see we've been joined by a few other students here. I'm going to bring Neressa into the class if she is there. Let me see. Are you there, Neressa? No? Looks like you're on mute at the moment. Ah, I can hear something.
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hello.
Can you hear me? No? Okay, I might have to come back to you in the rest. It seems like there's a few technical issues going there. Let me see if JG is there. Are you there, JG?
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you doing?
How are you? Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I'm doing well. Have you joined us before?
I only listen, sir.
Ah,
I
so
didn't
this is going to
speak
be
here yet.
your first time participating.
Yeah.
Okay, good work. Where are you based, JG?
At the moment in Saudi Arabia, sir. In Jeddah, Saudi
Okay.
Arabia.
And where are you from originally?
From Philippines, Bacoor, Philippines, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, welcome to the class, JG.
Thank you, sir.
No worries. We're going to do a new question together. So we're going to have a look this time at learning. So can you see this question clearly on your screen, JG?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. Okay, so you've got a minute then to prepare your response, and then you should speak on this topic for between 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, are you ready to begin?
Okay, sir.
Brilliant.
Well, I
So,
can vivid. Okay.
go on. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I can vividly remember it was like 8 years ago when I took the course nursing in Arellano University, Manila. Well, it's it's always memorable for me when I took this related learning experience subject, wherein our professor taught us about different kind of things about nursing. And It's kind of like a checklist that we need to follow, and it is a guide for us to to know about our about nursing procedures, different kind of nursing procedures. So one of which is the like bed making, wherein we're going to familiarize the different types of sheet, like top sheet, bottom sheet, and flat sheet that we need to utilize in taking care of patients. And aside from that, the different kinds of injection that we need to know, like for example, intramuscular and intravenous and intradermal. And during that time, our professor asked us to look for a partner. And that time I was nervous since we were going to try this kind of injection with each other. And however, I need to finish this subject because these are prerequisite to to a next level. And then, so to cut the story short, right now I feel confident and that I feel confident that now that I'm a nurse and practicing this practicing all this procedure in
Okay,
okay.
that's great. Thank you, JG. So, how do you feel after your first experience?
Kind of nervous. Okay.
Well, you did a good job. You did a good job. So you kept speaking for the full 2 minutes, which is great to achieve, because obviously by doing that you get to demonstrate a wider range of fluency, a wider range of language structures. Use some nice linking devices. So one of which wherein, for example, aside from that, so lots of phrases that were linking ideas together, which we used effectively. You were describing the course. There were sometimes we're using terms that maybe were a bit more technical. So I would just say if you're talking, for example, I think you're talking about intradermal, intramuscular, maybe just give a short description as to what that is, because the audience you're listening to will it's unlikely there'll be a medical specialist. So just to make sure that your ideas are coherent, it's always a good idea just to explain any terms that you use that might be more technical. But yeah, you were grammatically you were accurate in your language, and you were using appropriate vocabulary as well. So I think the one thing that I would say in terms of going forward would be with the pausing, which obviously what I mentioned at the beginning of the class, and that was, you said yourself, associated a bit with nerves. You said you were feeling a bit nervous, and that can mean sometimes that we do pause, we spend a bit more time thinking about what we're going to say. But I would just say, going forward, as you're practicing speaking part 2, try to reduce the amount of pauses that you are making as you're talking, and try to focus them more on when you're changing topic or when you're adding information, because then it will make your speaking sound a bit more fluent. So that'll be the main thing to focus on. But as I say, in terms of the use of grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation as well, these things are very accurate and clear. So there's a lot of good stuff in your speaking. So well done, JG.
Oh, thank you, sir.
No worries. Okay, so we've got time for one more. I'm going to try to bring in a student who perhaps didn't participate in the previous session that we did. So let me bring Mac in. Are you there, Mac? No. Looks like you're on mute there, Mac. Okay. Okay. Let me bring in Jasmine. Let's see if you're there. Are you there, Jasmine?
Hello, Alex.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good.
You sound a bit far away. Are you on loudspeaker?
Yes, you knew it. How about now, Alex? It's better?
That's much better, much better. Yeah. Are you traveling?
Yes.
Okay. So, Jasmine, we're going to look at another topic together. And let me just bring this up now.
Okay.
So, the topic is a skill. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Fantastic. Okay, Jasmine, so you've got a minute then to prepare your response. You should talk about the topic for between 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Brilliant. Okay, Jasmine, are you ready to begin?
Yes, Alex, I will try.
Okay, brilliant. So please describe a skill that was difficult for you to learn.
Okay. So there are a lot of talents and skills that every individual has. But today, I'd like to talk about a skill that is something challenging for me. And this one is the talent of inserting intravenous access for my patient. To give you a background, I am a nurse by profession, and it is a basic skill for every nurses to know how to insert the IV access or the access for any fluid for every patient. And this talent uh, was I was able to learn it when I was in my college days. It is required, or it is a basic skill, as I've said, that every nurses should learn to avoid harm to my patient, and specifically to those elderly who has a fragile veins. And this is something that challenging for me, because there are different kinds of veins for every individual, for the infant as well as the elderly. There are tendency that their veins would probably pop right away if it's not hit properly. However, with persistent practice and my motivation to learn and to be expert on this skill, I was able to hone with the help of my colleagues and my preceptors. And
Okay. Thank you very much there, Jasmine.
thank you, Alex.
So we learned a lot here. That was quite educational about the process of accessing veins, which was interesting to hear about. So it was nice there, Jasmine. You gave a nice introduction to the talk, and you provided some background, some context as well. You mentioned intravenous access. Just as I was saying before to JG, it'd be a good example, or it'd be a good idea there just to explain a little bit about what intravenous access is. You kind of did when you gave your talk, but just very quickly at the beginning, you could say, which is basically just finding the right vein when
Yes.
providing medication to a patient, for example, or you know.
Yes.
So yeah, just a kind of layman's terms description. But yeah, you were using good vocabulary. Hit the vein. Persistent practice was a nice expression you're using as well. Fragile. So you're using some less common terms and adjectives, which was good to hear. A basic skill as well. So you're using appropriate vocabulary related to the topic. So that is a common and appropriate expression to use when talking about skills. Hone. So it's nice that we're using the term hone, but if you use it as a verb, you tend to use it as part of an expression. So, you know, I've been honing my skills, or
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, nice word to use, definitely appropriate within the context, but yeah, just using it as part of that expression is commonly how it is used. In terms of grammar, generally you are accurate, but you use the expression for every nurses. So if you use every, you would use the singular form
Nurse.
of the noun.
Yes, every nurse.
Exactly, exactly. And then you're talking about elderly. You said elderly patients, and then you said who has, or I think you said the elderly who has, but it will be a plural reference because obviously
Yes,
there are many people. So you would say who have in
have.
that case.
Yes.
So yeah. So that was the only thing really. Just a few slips in terms of grammatical accuracy. Outside of that, you were using some nice vocabulary. You used a nice structure as well. There was a bit of pausing, some pausing, which distracted a little bit from the topic. It wasn't too obvious. It wasn't too intrusive, but you could reduce it just a little bit because that would mean that the pausing would be more effective and would help
Yes.
in terms of your fluency. But yeah, but a lot of good stuff there, Jasmine, and yeah, your pronunciation very accurate as well. Specifically, that's the only word I could hear you slightly struggle with, but aside from that, you were using very accurate and clear pronunciation. So so yeah, so good work and well done on the progress that you're making.
Okay, thank you again, Alex. Thank you again for the opportunity.
No worries, Jasmine. Well done for getting involved and thanks for taking part. Okay. So thank you to all those who have participated in the class today with the speakers. For those who have been watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, I hope that you found it useful. Do let me know in the comment section if there's anything which you found particularly useful, particularly interesting related to the class. What did you learn today about IELTS speaking? Obviously, the main focus was on pausing and fluency, but what other things did you learn in terms of the feedback that was given to the students? Was there anything that you particularly enjoyed in today's lesson? Please let me know in the chat box if so. And will you be joining our next session? I hope you will, because we will be back in 2 weeks' time on April the 8th at 1:30 British summer time. So the clocks actually in the UK are going forward an hour. So we will be an hour earlier outside of Europe for those who are watching us. So in the Middle East, in the Philippines, and wherever else you might be watching us, we will be an hour earlier in 2 weeks' time as the clocks change. So please join us for our following class. And I think Jennifer will be joining us as well, just to check in with us and to keep us all up to date as regards the Swoosh and Connetics offers that we have. But let me just say thank you again to Leolin, JG, Jay, and to Jasmine, who all participate today very, very usefully and very competently as well in the speaking, and to all those who have been watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. So let me just see if Jennifer is going to be joining us. I think she will. But as I say, just let me know in the chat box if you have any questions about the session so far, anything in terms of the feedback that was given. And if you do, I will look to address those questions. Okay, so Leolin, always look forward to the class. Thank you very much, Leolin. I look forward to your participation. And you say you've gained confidence in speaking. That's great to hear. That's very important, obviously, to be confident when you enter the IELTS exam. With that confidence, you'll be able to speak more fluently, more calmly. So, yeah, definitely, that is great to hear, Leolin. Jasmine, class is interactive and informative. Great. Glad to hear that, Jasmine. That's great of you to say. Okay. Okay, Jay says that he learned some new vocabulary. What new vocabulary did you learn, Jay? See if we can review some new vocabulary that emerged from today's class. Down in the dumps. Yeah, that is a good expression. That is a good expression. I think it was Leolin who used that expression, wasn't it? Yeah, that is nice. So if you're not feeling particularly happy, if you're feeling upset about something, that is a good expression to use. And that's one of the great things, of course, about the speaking practice, is that we can actually learn these expressions from each other. Okay, so Jennifer has rejoined us. Let me bring in. How are you doing, Jennifer?
All right. Hello. That hour goes by mighty fast, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the class today. I'm sure that they did. Thank you, Alexander. Appreciate that.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah. So for everyone who does not already know me, which I know everyone in here probably already does, I'll make it short and sweet. My name is Jennifer Olchenbruns. I'm the IELTS Support Specialist here at Connetics USA. I just do a little intro in the beginning and a little exit, just to give you a little heads up on what we do here. Okay, for your IELTS exam, there's a little success path here, phase 1 through 7. We've got the NCLEX Fast Pass. We've got your preparation for your interview, the visa framework that involves your TN visa or your green card. You're looking at phase 4 being the licensing and credentialing, English proficiency exam, and that's where you come in, Alex and everyone else trying to pass your IELTS exam. We're looking at the phase 5 is get ready game plan. So that is your financial, language, clinical, immigration, and prepare for transition. So Connetics, the whole team here is we're all here and we're a big team, and we're going to make you pass and make it work and get you here to the USA. Your phase 6 is your arrival sequence. So you've got your orientation, training, and housing. I always talk about housing. I know everyone's either hesitant or excited where you're going to move. Your 7th phase is enjoy and prosper. So you will get here, and after you pass your IELTS exam, there's a few other things you have to do, as you know, and you just wait your turn and you will be here very, very quick. Swoosh English and Connetics USA has partnered together, which is great. So Connetics is here to help you pass your IELTS exam. You've got your complimentary IELTS review course. It's 100% paid scholarship by Connetics USA, which is really great. Free IELTS class weekly. This is what Alex is doing. We've got classes all throughout the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've got a couple different options, Thursday and Friday, with the new classes that have started on Wednesday and Friday, the grammar essential class, which is really great. We also offer the free study groups and study partners. You will find that in the Telegram group. If you're not already in the Telegram group, please make sure you reach out to me. Country code is 1-858-289-1853. I'm in WhatsApp and Telegram if you're not sure where to find me. And I will just put up my information really quick so you can know where to find me. The free Facebook group. If you're not already in Connetics Facebook group, please reach out and find us there. We're also on the Swoosh Connetics Facebook group. So that's where we get a lot of questions and tips on how to pass your IELTS exam. I already mentioned that we were in WhatsApp. We're no longer in WhatsApp. We have exceeded our limit in WhatsApp, which is really great. It's a great problem to have. We now have made our group even bigger. It's larger, and we are in Telegram. So that's sort of exciting. We also offer the Connetics IELTS support specialist, which is yours truly, me. So if you do have any questions, I'm available all of the time, most of the time. You can reach out to me, leave me a message at WhatsApp or Telegram. I'm also on Jennifer@ConneticsUSA.com. You can also find me on Facebook. If you're not really sure how to enroll or what you need, you do need to be a Connetics nurse, however. That's really the only stipulation. And you need to have to pass your IELTS exam too, of course. So if you are not a Connetics nurse already, please reach out to us, ConneticsUSA.com/application, and we will get you going. What else do we have? We've got the monthly raffle that we do at the last Friday of every month. Like today, I just did that not too long ago. Teeny Cornista is our March raffle winner for this month. Try to spit that out. What does she win? She wins her exam paid for by Connetics. So that's exciting. Not travel, just for her IELTS exam. We also offer the, what does the IELTS scholarship program consist of? Probably, maybe a lot of you want to know if you're not already in there. There is 8 modules with 8 milestone tests. So that's exciting. If you're not sure exactly where your levels are, you will know after you pass or take your milestone test at the end of each module. There's 20 writing corrections. They're available for you. They've made it very easy. Once you log into your dashboard, there is a section for your essays and your writing corrections that you will submit. Recorded live classes from ex-IELTS examiners like Alexander, and we've got Grace, and we've got Elsa. They're all really great, and they're just great. I say great, and they are. So we've got them mock exams at the end of your review. At the very bottom, you are able to have a handful of mock exams before you take your actual IELTS exam. So that's exciting. Speaking partners, you will also find that, yes, in the Telegram group that was mentioned. That is the easiest place for tips and tricks and all of those things. So around the clock support from Swoosh, as always, and Connetics. I'm always here to try to answer a question. So I think that is about that. Thank you, Alex, for having the class today. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And I think that's about that. I think that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. So yeah, I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. I guess in a couple of weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, the next one will be in a couple of weeks.
Right.
I was just advising everyone that it's going to be an hour earlier because the times are changing in Europe.
Earlier. So it's not going to be, because usually it was 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now, because we had an hour time difference ahead, are you saying now it'll be back to 8:30?
Yeah, the times change on Sunday in Europe.
On
So
Sunday.
it'll be back to what you were used to in the US, I
So
guess.
you fall back, you don't spring, because in spring we spring forward.
Yeah, we lose an hour. So everything like,
Okay.
is an
I
hour
see what
earlier
you're
than
saying.
it was. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you started what time? Your time today? What time was that?
So 1:30.
1:30. Because we started later today too. So was that not really sure. Was that because of our time difference?
Because it seems like you go ahead before we do.
All right. Okay.
Oh, we're just catching you up, basically.
That's kind of what I thought. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go over all the details at a later time, but just so everyone knows, I was here. I was an hour early. No one was here, so I was early. That's good. That's
Always
good.
better to be early than late, they say, don't they?
Yeah, that's good. Always be. Yeah. Call me a lot of things, but don't call me late for lunch. How's that? That's a funny joke. All right. Well, I want you to enjoy your day, Alexander, and everyone else watching. Thank you for tuning in.
You too. Take care.
All right. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.